ต่อไปจะขอให้พวกน้องหน่อยมันมาอธิบายสู่ฟังในเรื่องการไปเจนีวา
Thank you, Generals, Colonels, ladies and gentlemen, and children. I'm really glad to see children in here as well to participate in this and to hear about the country where your parents came from. I will say a few words in Laos because I'll be able to speak Laos, but not that well, and I'll speak in English about the visiting the Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland, about UPR, 21st cycle of UPR. UPR is a universal periodic review. It's about every 4 years, 5 years. Each country UN will call upon each country to review its conduct. That's what I would say something like that. Conduct where any violations about human rights violations, corruptions, and drug trafficking, and many ongoing issues that's happening in that particular country. But in the last month, it happened to be about Laos, Lao PDR, the country that no one knew about or not aware about. And many times I stop at the store, gas station in my store next to my house, and I am from Laos. I said, what? Where's Laos? Oh, I'm from Thailand. Oh, yes, Thailand. Or I say, next to Vietnam. Oh, yes, Vietnam. But when you say Laos, no one knows what is Laos, where is Laos? So that's why I feel like a mission to go there is to go to Geneva, Switzerland is very critical point in my life. I have decided it is time to, what I would call it, in my personal opinion, is to raise awareness about the situation and the condition in Laos to the world. Okay? So when we got there, and as expected, not too many people knew or know about Laos. But ADL, which is NGO, non-government organization, which I belong to, and we have been gathered the informations and the conditions and into a document. The format is what you call it in issues, and then we have giving questions and recommendations to all 21 issues and questions and a recommendation to all those, and we pass all those documents out to various countries within the UPR members. So when we got there, so some, of course, they have as politics in any way, whether in UN or in anywhere, or they have some friendly toward Lao PDR. Some are not so friendly, which we are glad that they're not quite a few. They not have asking some tough questions about the disappearance of Mr. Sombat Sampon and about the corruptions, about the land grabbing issues, about the drug trafficking, about human trafficking that's ongoing in Laos. What particularly unique about what's happening in Laos is that it's quite a lot proportional to the population. The latest, Lao PDR census is where we have 6 million people, but 200,000-300,000 of young people that are recorded is drug addicts, so that's pretty high. Not to imagine it's that recorded for that much. Imagine nothing recorded and about older people, not just about the young people. So that is why it's kind of stand out. That why is it a little nation of Laos and has a population of 6 million, have that many people, young people, especially addicted to drugs, amphetamines especially. So we address the problem. And the thing is, when we get there, after we submit it and all the documents, and we hear all the answer and the question and recommendation to the Lao PDR, and for us as younger people, and we have a lot to do. The reason being is that we have to follow up and keep up what we have submitted to the Lao PDR government for the many years. That classical tactic that Lao Communist government or Lao PDR government have been used what they call it 4D tactics. 4Ds. First they will deny, no, not happening, no, not happening to us, not in Laos. And they will delay it, the second D. They will delay it as long as you can, and they will, eventually they will find someone made up some story to discredit whatever they accuse them doing. And eventually, when they forgot, they will just discard it somewhere. So we don't know. We never heard of that issue before. So that's why it will take 40 years. That's why the Lao PDR have been used that tactic to answer all the international communities and NGOs and some of those more hostility, more forceful, that they will expel you from the Lao PDR, which have some of the NGOs, organizations in Laos have been expelled within 48 hours or shorter than that, or you will not be able to regain the entry to Laos. So, as you can see, if there is no convincing or there is no some pull pressure for our government to change. What we are believing is that go through United Nations. That's what we are doing. That's why I wholeheartedly participate in this. As a result, I think we gained some momentum about this, about the trip to Geneva. The first time in Lao history, there is no a group of Lao people go stand in front of United Nations and protest and demanding about freedom, about justice, about democracy. That's what we asked for. We did not ask for anything else. With those three critical elements in each one of us, in our lives, in order to strive. That's what we have, and that's what the United States gave us. I have raised my hand twice. First was when I became U.S. citizen. Raised my hand to protect and against our enemy, protect the U.S. Constitution. And second is that when I joined U.S. Army as field artillery officer. And not just raising it, I wholeheartedly believe in it, because this country is the best country. By no means is a perfect country. In America itself has many dark histories. In Revolution period, they have royalists and patriots. When patriots won what the General Washington policy toward royalists, he embraced them, build the country together. Instead of Lao government, like we have done, when they sign a contract, they haul you off to concentration camp and kill as many as they can. See, something that we need as young people here, I like to bring something like that back to Laos. And the second phase of the darkest period of U.S. history is Civil War, and the blue and the gray. What did President Abraham Lincoln did? He embraced it. The objective is to live in peace together and build a nation together. He had Reconstruction era period, rebuilt the South. It will take some time to for U.S. to find its own identity, which we now solely enjoyed the freedom of express and freedom of, pursuit of happiness. If you work hard, you will earn money, and you will earn your freedom, freedom of movement, freedom of economics. Once you attain freedom of economics, you really can do a lot, go anywhere you want to. Okay, so all about freedom has to be clearly defined. There are some who said, oh, freedom in some other countries, but they only freedom for those privileged class. But for those down in the bottom, there's no really freedom, a matter of difficult to see what kind of freedom they have. They really don't have freedom because you don't have economic freedom. But here in this country, we achieve it all. Economic freedom, political freedom, freedom of express, freedom of religion, anywhere and from, in forms, excuse me. So that's why I want to do this. I mean, joining ADL to go to Switzerland, hopefully to bring the democracy back to Laos, so we can all enjoy, for Lao people in Laos, to have freedom like we have. And so much is opportunity here, have education and everything else. I just cannot praise enough of this country, which is true. I do not make up this story up, but I, for one, benefit from the system that we live in this country. My parents, of course, like every one of us here, came to this country penniless. So that's all I have to say. I will say in a little bit in Laos, because I can't speak out there well. I don't know how long I've been up here talking, but thank you for listening. ขอบใจหลายทุกคนคิดว่าพวกทานหลายๆคือสิเข้าใจภาษาละภาษาอังกฤษอยู่เนาะ but then more like instead of pinpoint focus what I say in general อันว่าทั่วไปบางหนึ่งว่าเรื่องมัน democracy ว่าเหตุใดประเทศเขาอยากให้คือประเทศอเมริกามีสิทธิเสรีภาพทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างเพราะเขาต้องเรียนแบบจากประเทศที่เจริญแล้วโมเมนต์คือประเทศลาวปัจจุบันนี้ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างว่าใส่นักเสี่ยวซ่านทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างจากเวียดนามให้เวียดนามมาเป็นมาปกครองประเทศเขาแบบนี้มันพูดถึงคณะเรียนเขาต้องเรียนในประเทศที่เขาสำเร็จผลแล้วที่พวกเขาทุกคนนี่แหละเป็นภาษาอังกฤษว่าเป็น witness ที่เขาเป็นเป็นตัวอย่างครับว่าเขาหูว่าระบบแบบประชาธิปไตยอยู่แบบอเมริกานี่มันก้าวหน้ามันดีคนบ่มีอย่างคือเขามาตกประเทศนี้เขาสามารถสร้างตั้งชีวิตเขาได้ถึงวันขนาดนี้เนาะคันเขาไปอยู่เมืองลาวบ่หรือว่าประเทศคอมมิวนิสต์อะไรต่างๆขออยากให้ขอเชิญทางจุมลีว่าสร้างลูกหลานเพิ่นไปตั้งชีวิตใหม่อยู่เกาหลีเหนือบ่เด้อเพิ่นสิฮอดใส่เดี๋ยวขอเชิญเพิ่นไปตั้งชีวิตใหม่อยู่คิวบาเนาะถือว่าเป็นมากคอมมิวนิสต์หลายเด้ก็ลองมึงดูว่ามันดีอยู่บ่อยากให้มันฮู้ว่าระบบคอมมิวนิสต์มันมีแบบไหนสิสร้างครอบครัวบ่สิสร้างให้ชีวิตเจ้าดีขึ้นบ่ได้เนี่ยอยู่ดีกินดีบ่ก็มีแนวเดียวแล้วเนาะสักอย่างสิว่าให้เพิ่นนั่นเองแล้วสั่งกันเอาลูกหลานมันไปอยู่ประเทศคอมมิวนิสต์ส่งไปจีนพุ่นล่ะเบจิงเซี่ยงไฮ้พุ่นล่ะลองมึงดูบ่ต้องเอาเงินที่ถงไปคือพวกเฮามาอยู่อเมริกานี่เลยเพิ่นสิไปฮอดไสเนาะก็บ่แม่นเว้าถึงแบบภาษาเด็กน้อยอันเว้าแบบความจริงข้าพเจ้าเว้าความจริงขอขอบใจที่ฟัง